So today I decided that I'm going to go for a walk and for a coffee because it's nice outside. And like whenever an adult man goes out for like a walk and a coffee by himself, that is like the most non-heterosexual thing you can do as a man, I feel like. But well, here we are. This is what is it that we're doing nowadays. And I kind of feel actually quite good after yesterday. So like I actually feel like this is going to be a nice, calm, decent day. But the hardest thing after these kind of like days where you just like eat whatever the fuck is waking up the next day and throwing everything out instantly and just going directly back into your diet. So I feel like that's kind of like the hardest part for me, just kind of like immediately stopping and going back to doing the thing that I should be doing. So yeah, I need to drink a little bit of a coffee and I need to go for a walk to just calm down. Otherwise, I'm just going to be sitting home and thinking about food constantly, which isn't necessarily something that I want to do. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. There's just something about going outside and just getting a coffee, going for a walk, and sitting outside a little bit that is like nice and distracting because you don't really think about the things that you would think about at home. And also it's just like generally a different environment. You feel like a little bit more social and you feel like you're outside with people, which helps a little bit. So as non-heterosexual as it sounds, sometimes it's actually a nice thing to do, and sometimes it makes a lot of sense. If you want to distract yourself and if you want to just like wander around a little bit and chill. So and to enjoy it. It's actually a nice thing to do. I actually started thinking about something today. I started thinking about like, how is it that I'm like significantly more happy nowadays than I used to be? And I'm starting to realize that like happiness isn't really necessarily going to be provided by monetary things. And I know it sounds like a cliche because like this is something that like people have basically been talking about for ages, but I actually start feeling like there's a lot of truth to it. Because for example, like when I was younger, I used to be like a very not happy person, and obviously I also had less, and I have a little bit more now, but it's not like I have a lot. It's not like I'm like super wealthy or anything. So the thing that has actually changed is just like I found a little bit more like self-value, and I found the things that I'm good at and the things that I enjoy doing. And I feel like that's like going to be very, very helpful to a very big degree, because that's just going to generally make you like a more happy, more chill person, because as soon as you have something that you're able to do, and as long as you have something that you're trying to get better at, I feel like that is going to be like the biggest part. And of course, there's also going to be like a very clear benefit of having monetary things. So like when people say it doesn't matter, that's not true, because like if, for example, you have less money, that's going to suck and it's going to be less. And if you have more, then that's more and it's going to be better. So I feel like it is white, black and white when it comes to those sorts of things. But yeah, I mean, that is not going to be like the only thing. I feel like there are going to be like other things that matter as well. I am now of the opinion that yesterday's cheat day was actually executed perfectly, because first of all, I ate only the stuff that I should be eating, in a sense where like the majority of the calories came from normal decent food. So like even though I ate more than I normally do, still a large part of it was steak, a large part of it was mashed potatoes, and then yes, I did add quite a lot of snacks afterwards, but the baseline of the food that I ate was still good, decent food. So that helped me quite a lot when it comes to today's mood, because I don't feel bad at all. I actually feel quite happy and quite at peace. And then another thing that I just now discovered is that occupying yourself and doing something nice during the next day is actually quite helpful mentally, because after yesterday's cheat meal, I woke up quite sad today because I understood that I'm not really going to get any more food. And I started realizing that I'm just going to be miserable at home, sitting doing jack shit and just thinking about food. But then instead I went outside for a walk. It was a very lovely day. I drank coffee, made a few videos, and it actually made me feel so much better. And now I'm so chill and so happy after this walk. So I feel like this is going to be the approach going forward. So first of all, the cheat meal is not going to be as ridiculous as it normally is, because I actually feel better and more saturated after eating this decent food and topping it off with sweets.
rather than when I just like fucking eat McDonald's or Domino's and then add sweets on top of it. So there is a very clear difference between how is it that I feel now when I eat normal food slash snacks and how I feel when I eat junk slash snacks. So this is probably going to be the way that I need to do it going forward. And then then just the walk and just like mentally occupying yourself, I feel like is also a very big part when it comes to just distracting yourself and just doing something else and just doing something that it's kind of like relaxing. So if you have never tried this kind of approach, I would actually suggest that you try something like this, because coming off a cheat meal in this sort of way actually helped a lot. So I'm actually quite happy and quite relaxed now. Plus, I also started eating normal food that I should be eating today, so that also kind of helped, because I was already starting to get a little bit hungry. And then when you get hungry after like a huge binge meal, then you kind of feel like you want to go back to this binge meal because your mind only remembers this, and in your mind this is the only way you can satisfy yourself. But in reality, if you're going to eat a decent amount of like normal clean food, that also actually helps a lot. I'm not even that hungry right now, so that is not really that much of an issue. But yeah, other than that, the day is pretty much already getting close to it being over. It's also now kind of rainy outside and kind of windy. I'm so happy that I went outside while it was still sunny and got some time to just like walk around and sit in the park. So that was actually quite nice, because yeah, if I would have decided to go now, that would not be a good time at all, because it is not that pleasant outside no more. But yeah, for the rest of the day, I'm basically going to be kind of organizing everything that I need to organize for next week. I don't really have to go to the office tomorrow yet. So tomorrow is going to be still a day of me running some errands and then just going to the gym. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit before I'll go to bed. So see you guys then. I should really start aiming for some kind of a level of balance when it comes to the things that I do. Because the way that I would do things is like, I either do it fully or I do not do it at all, which can be a good thing with certain things, but the problem with that is I also quite often go into the extreme. So for an example, if I'm going to have a cheat meal, I am going to eat until my stomach is going to hurt, until I'm going to have problems breathing, and only then I'm going to stop. Then on the other side of it, if I'm going to diet, I am going to starve myself to death. I am not going to eat a gram more than I should. And once again, it kind of sounds like a good thing on the surface level, but in reality, it's really not, because you are quite often going to do better when you're going to find a balance and when you're going to wisely balance everything. And if you are doing something, I would actually advise that you try to like practice common sense if there is something that you can do, and just like try to find balance with things. So for an example, if you're dieting, diet, it's good, but don't go too hard with it, because that's not going to be sustainable. Try to manage it in a way where you do the right things, but you also cut yourself a little bit of slack. Because in my case, it's just I'm not really able to do it that way, and I feel like there's also not really going to be like one singular fixed way for everyone that they should do things in. And for some people, balance is going to be a better thing. For some people, they're just not able to have balance. And if you can in general do this, and if you can in general do things in a balanced way, I feel like that is the way to go. But then there are just going to be people like me that are not able to do anything in a balanced way, and you either do it like full on or you do not do it at all. And I mean, it works for me. I feel like if I would try to do things in a smarter, more balanced way, I wouldn't be able to maintain things, and I would kind of get stuck into this like place where I just don't really improve. Because another problem with me is I get comfortable easily, and if I don't bring a thing to the extreme, I do not understand if I'm moving forward or not. So for an example, years ago, I was training quite frequently, and I was attending the gym every single day, and I would never skip anything. I would eat reasonable food, but I would never progress, and I would never really grow. And I started wondering, like, why is it that I'm going to the gym for like 6-7 years now, and I have a reasonable physique, but it's very average. It's not really impressive at all. And then all of a sudden I realized it's just like, yeah, okay, you're going to the gym, you're spending a lot of time there, but you're not really putting in the work. You're trying to do things in a balanced, structured way, but that just kind of leads you towards not really trying as hard as you could. So it doesn't work for me. I don't understand when is it that I'm moving forward and when is it that I'm standing still. So the only way I can move forward is taking things to the extreme and doing my absolute best. That is the only thing that works for me. But at the end of the day, I feel like whatever is it that you're doing, you just need to kind of find the way that works best for you. So if balance works best for you, then you should definitely practice it, because that's going to be more healthy. However, if that doesn't work for you, find a way that does, and just do it the way that you're able to improve, and do it the way that you're able to move forward with the things that you want to move forward with. Okay, I am pretty much done with the day. I'm gonna chill a little bit more. I'm gonna watch some TV. I feel like I'm probably going to go back to watching Euphoria, even though I feel like the TV show has been a very huge letdown during this season. I really enjoyed the first season, and the second season was actually, this is the second season. They've only had 2 seasons. So there was the first season, that was amazing, and now there's the second season, which is like a whisper in comparison to the first season. It's just like an echo of the first season, and it's not actually that interesting. But I don't really have anything better to do. I'm only going to go to the gym starting from tomorrow. So today I'm not going to do any more physical exercise. I'm not going to go jogging. I'm not going to go to the gym. So the only thing I can do is just basically watch TV and wait for tomorrow to come around, so I can once again start going to the gym and doing the things that I should be doing. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow then. See you guys tomorrow.